in some videos I have already shown how to create human face, and today's video will talk about the human body, the body language. Now most importantly, like there's a typical factor about how to draw a human body. I'll just touch that typical factor and then come back to the creative factor. So because I cannot show you a long illustration, so it is all futile because you have to really practice long illustrations to make yourself apt enough how good you can sketch on your exam day. Okay, so what are the creative factors necessary? Okay, let us see. Before that, I'll just give you a gist of how human figure should be understood, right? So a human figure should be understood in different head proportion. Generally, like if I take a gradation of line like this, okay, this is a gradation of line, as you can see. This is the gradation of line. Say for example, this is 1 inch gradation of line. So I have created, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gradation. So let me see, this is a little bit tilted down, so I'll make it proper a little bit and a little bit proper, fine. Okay, almost, right? So if I have a head here, the body proportion happens to be in sync with the head length. That is why we call whether it's a 6-head figure, 8-head figure, 10-head figure, 12-head figure for fashion or dramatization, it can be 14-head figure. We don't go into all those philosophy. I realize you are doing that kind of thing. But in general, 8-head figure, 7-head figure or 8.5-head figure is fine. Okay. So here, if you want to make an infant, okay, kid, then head becomes the same size, the neck becomes lesser, the shoulder is smaller, okay, the body is very small. Just have a look how I draw. The leg is still not so much defined, and then it actually ends to 5 head. Just have a look, 5.5. It's 4.5 head. This feet you don't calculate. This is like, this is a human infant, kid, 1.5 years to 2 years age, maybe. Okay. So this is the condition. The head is big, the shoulder is narrow, the neck is not very elongated, the body is not stretched. It is very cylindrical proportion, it's like more roughness, so it's 4.5 head figure. This feet is not calculated because from the ankle it actually ends at the heel it actually ends. So if the heel is the basic point of ending on the floor, then the feet is actually protruding front. But we cannot just draw the protrusion of the feet in this manner, it looks very insane. So rather we stretch the feet in the front, like this. So this is how its 4.5 head figure happens. Say 4.5 head. Okay, it's a small child, right? Male, female, you cannot identify because here the body type is not so defined that it is male or female. You can identify. So next, the head remains again the same. See, the head remains again the same. I am just trying to shape up the little face a little more defined, as you can see here, and the neck is little more defined, the shoulder a little broad. If you see, this hair is got a little chubby, rounded, it is little bit more oval, and then the neck is little stretched, the shoulder is stretched out, the body is still defined. You can actually see the waist appearing, the hip curving. That's it. You can see how from which point to which point the body structure should be. Just identify, I'll give you some tips. The fingertip should end at the mid-thigh. That is one thing. The elbow should end at the rib cage, lower rib cage. Okay. So this is how. And the knee is like from the waist joint to the knee, and the knee to the ankle joint is almost same size, right? You just visually try to grab the look. Everybody has a different physique, the body structure, the body anatomy, okay? Anatomy, big word, okay? So, but different people have different torso length, different arm size, different leg stretch. So maybe if you do an arm a little bit shorter, the shoulder narrow, the neck stretched out, the leg stretched out, it is not a big difference. But then visually it should be like, okay, right, this is fine, there is no mistake. So be careful about that. If you really think about measuring them into inch and fractions by inch, it's very insane, because human build is not like that mechanically. Mechanically it's not like that. There may be logics of golden ratio and proportion, okay, a lot of logics. I'm not going to go into that, because that logic is very mechanical, arranged, nature's phenomena. But then there are distortions also. There are varieties also. When distortions and varieties come, you must explore. You must explore, ideate, develop. Okay, that way you open up your mind. When you are talking about making a chair or a table, then this ratio, proportion, design parameters of exactness don't work. You have to be much more expressive, creative. Okay. So similarly, for the human figure, as you can see, this is fine till here. Okay, but even if this arm is a little shorter or the leg is a little longer, it's not a big deal, because you see the head is still same. Head is still same. Now the age variation comes here. Here you can see it's like a 10 years old kid. It's like a 7.5 head. 7.5 head. I didn't intentionally make it 7.5 head. I just felt that if I make that 7.5, this is proportionally correct. If you ask me to make it, so make it 10 head figure or 8 head figure, what I'll do, I'll just stretch this thing a little down. Okay, this heel will automatically touch the 8 head point. My work is done. Bingo. Right? So that way we calculate how drawing should be done. In the same proportion, if I still keep the head, but now this time I'll try to make a little more mature head. So I'm trying to remove the fat. The face is a little bit of chiseled up, as you can see, shaped up. As you grow, the face tends to modify. The head size tends to modify. But then that should be in sync and in connection to the body structure. So here you can see the neck is a little more stretched up. It looks mature, right? Let me make a male or female, doesn't matter much over here. I'll just show the body structure. As you can see, this is the waist defined, this is the hip defined. Here, try to make it like this. There's a crotch portion. And then, here, done. Still it is done. If it's female, you narrow the shoulder, define the bust area, increase the hip a little bit more. If it is male, don't define the hip too much, okay? Try to make it a little more rectangular. But it is just a body structure. I am talking in terms of the length and breadth. You can see this is almost like 8 head. Chalo, I'll take it 8 head figure. 8 head. It's 6.5. Sorry, I misinterpreted. It is 6.5 head. Sorry over here. I just miscalculated. 6.5, and this is 8 head figure. Okay. As you can see, doesn't matter. You can actually find out from that area. Now here again, if you want to make it tall enough, say 10 head figure, the head still remains same. Head remains same, the neck can big enough. Here the legs are increased, the size of the leg, the torso is pulled down, the elbow portion is increased, down. Fine? As you can see, now it is 9 head figure. You want to make it 10 head figure? Let's see. Final thing, 10 head figure. If I have to make a 10 head figure, what would I do? I'll try to make the neck a little longer. Should I make the neck so long? No. I'll definitely not make that long neck. Okay? The long crane neck would be too ridiculous for me to do. But this is now the stylized version. Stylized version. Let me see how I can put a stylized version of the body structure. If I make the body structure a little more stylized and the legs, so you can see that I have increased the feet here till this much, and the torso and the leg portion are defined till here. It's almost touching the 10, the point 10, and there is no distortion, only that she looks like this is she, as you can see the curvature on the body is too much defined, like I've created a female bust, as you can see it's like he, this is he and that's a she, as you can see. So I'm not showing all the detailings as such, and then like this is how it actually works. You need to practice this in sync with it, but in coming videos we'll talk about, like in your exam, you don't draw everybody like typical structured gymnasts models as such. You need to draw fat, you need to draw stooping, drooping, you need to draw very lanky sometimes, very creepy, different characters, a beggar, a rickshaw puller, a guard, a driver, truck driver or somebody like that, or a fighter even. So you need to study those things, those kind of characters, and put up in your sketchbook, because you can't say that he is a rickshaw puller or she is a truck driver, or this boy is a beggar, or this kid is a somebody. You cannot, you just have to create a character with that body language. Those body languages are something which we will be talking in the coming videos.